Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends fan channel exclusive Punisher. Here we have the Punisher displayed in the front window along with his extra head and his arsenal there, and at the bottom we do have the Punisher logo. On the side we get some very cool artwork of Punisher running towards us. That is going to be the same artwork on both sides. On the back, instead of an expanded shot of that artwork, we get a promotional shot of the figure. Then we do have a quick read-up. Frank Castle takes to the streets and delivers brutal vigilante justice as the Punisher. And at the bottom you do have the UPC code. However, this being a fan channel exclusive means it's going to be available on websites like BestBuy.com, GameStop, and of course HasbroPulse.com. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at the Punisher. And here is Punisher outside of his packaging, and I gotta say, when I first saw the promotional images for this figure when it was first announced, I actually got pretty excited. We have, of course, the Walgreens version of Punisher, and then we had the Retro Wave Punisher, and both of those, he was just wearing his classic uniform. So seeing this version of the Punisher wearing a more militaristic uniform, we get the camo pants, the military boots, the very crudely painted skull on the chest. All those elements combined, I really like that idea of just more the vigilante look, I guess, versus a superhero look. And I think it looks really good. And I love the head sculpt that comes with the paint on the face. That is definitely going to be what this one is displayed with, because that looks awesome. Now, since this is a fan channel exclusive, he does not come with any Build-A-Figure piece, but we do get 3 different weapons for him, starting with this pistol that looks like it's a 1911 .45 caliber. This M16, or at least it looks like an M16 with a grenade launcher and a scope. Looks like it might even have a laser sight there on the side. And then we get this long rifle or sniper rifle, but it looks to me like it's meant to resemble a Barrett 50 cal. That's kind of what I get from it. It looks like one. I don't know if there's some sort of detail that some gun nuts want to pick out there for me naming off all those weapons, but that's what they looked like to me. Now, when standing straight up, Punisher is coming in at about 6.5 inches tall, which makes him about 16.5 centimeters. So he is your average height for a Marvel Legends figure. Nothing too crazy, doesn't stand out in any significant way. And the only other accessory he does come with aside from those weapons is going to be the alternate head. So we're going to get a look at that here, and then we're going to look at the rest of the paint and the sculpt here on the Punisher. And getting up close first here with the headband sculpt. So we've actually seen this sculpt, 2 other times now. We've got a white band, a red band, and now we got the gray band. But each time they do something a little bit different with it. This time, just a little bit different paint here. We can see the scruffiness of the beard. I like how that looks. And then we get just the dark around the eyes, a very tired and worn out Punisher. Looks like mine has a little something there on his nose that's not meant to be there, but no big deal. And the eyes actually looks like they came out painted pretty good on this one for a change here. Usually I have such problems with the eyes. And I will say one thing that I really like is they use the blue to highlight the hair, which of course is pretty classic comic book style where blue is used to highlight black. And I really do like how that came out. You get a little bit of a soft material there for the headband, but otherwise it's a pretty standard looking sculpt with no real complaints. And then switching over to the face paint sculpt, and yeah, like I said, I really like this one. It just looks really cool. I like how it even looks like the streaks there on the black kind of looks like it was just self-applied, making it look really cool. So I do like this. And we've seen this head sculpt before too, also 2 other times, once with the scruffy beard, and then once clean shaven, and now we get it with the face paint. But not bad for the sculpt. The paint, however, on the hair, a little bit of a miss there. It's painted too high above the ear, and a big miss there, also painted too high. So a little misalignment there. And then one downside that happens at times is you get these little pockets where paint doesn't get into, so you have a little bit of flesh tone that sticks out throughout. So that is a little bit of a disappointment. Same thing up at the top there with his curls. You can see little pockets of flesh tone peeking out. But otherwise, it doesn't detract too much to the naked eye when you're just looking at it on display. So it still looks good. And then looking down at the skull on the chest, I really like that. I love it when it looks like Punisher just sort of painted the skull on, and it looks like it's pretty sharp lines for the most part, so not too bad there. Of course, it's printed on there, so it does look really good. He does have his little jacket here that he's wearing, and you get the armor look for the sleeves. And then it's a little short jacket, and he's got his belt, which is actually going to be a bit of a gripe of mine. So when we look at the belt, we have all sorts of useful Punisher things, like we have extra magazines, you got some grenades there. What's he got on the back? We get a knife that is sculpted in, does not come out, a little utility pouch there. And then, so they gave us a pistol, they give us a holster, but then they sculpt a pistol into the holster. So that is a weird choice. Other than they just obviously want to make him decked out with the equipment, but that really irritates me that they give us a pistol and they give us technically storage for the pistol, but then they go and sculpt something in there. And then each of the hands are going to be gun-holding hands with a trigger finger. However, his left hand is getting pretty spaced out for me because I've been using it to hold the grips on the rifles. So that's probably going to be a thing that might happen with us collectors. We might be stretching this hand out to have him properly hold that. And then looking down, we do get another strap here across the thigh. And they tried to paint the silver there of the buckle and missed a little bit, which I should have pointed out too. They did paint that buckle also. But this is not molded in. That is a separate piece, so it can spin around and whatnot. But it's still nice that they actually applied paint to it, though, instead of it just being plain. And the camo on the pants looks good. And then the military boots look good as well. So overall, it's still not a bad design and a bad look, so I do like that. Now, looking at the articulation, so the head can go all the way around. It can look down quite a ways, and then it can look up all the way, so you get a lot of movement there. You have an arm, and I will say, be careful. This arm was really stiff on mine, and man, I don't know if it goes any higher than that, but it feels like I'm going to end up pushing and stressing this peg, so I'm not going to do it. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and you do have a hinge and rotation at the wrists. And I really do wish that we would have gotten that ulnar and I think it's radial joints versus this style, because you can hold weapons so much better when you get that style of articulation in the wrist, just like the Deadly Origins Black Widow that we got. You can hold the rifle much better. Oh well. You do have a diaphragm joint, which if you go too far back is going to leave quite a nasty gap in there. You can even, if the light caught it right, but you can see the ball peg, but it does go back quite a ways, and then it can go forward quite a ways, and you do get some pretty good side-to-side actually on that, and of course you get full rotation. Then he also has rotation at the waist as well, so if you really wanted to have them all twisted up, you could. Legs are going to come apart. Oof, not much at all. Kick forward, a fair amount. Backwards, not much. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees, and it's a really long knee joint, I guess. I don't know how else to phrase that, but it just seems like it's a really long joint. It looks like he would have a boot cut, but he does not, but he does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. So overall, very cool figure. I enjoyed it. I did forget to mention, by the way, he's got a hole in the back of his jacket. I don't know why, because he doesn't have a hole in the back of the body sculpt. So we just get a hole that, obviously, this jacket came from a figure that had some sort of mounting. I didn't search to see who it came from. I try to keep these reviews just more about the figure that I'm reviewing and less about what parts are reused and such. But anyway, still a very cool figure. I think it looks good, and it will look really good in any kind of sort of mercenary sort of setup that you might have. So I think it's worth the pickup for that face paint sculpt alone, because this is just a devious looking version of the Punisher. But as I said, that is it for my review. Again, it's worth a pickup. Pick it up. But if you like this review, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my videos, and have a great day.